How a sexless marriage affects a man. This is a big topic for a lot of men who are not getting sex on any regular basis, maybe once every few weeks, once a month, once a quarter, sometimes once a year, sometimes not for years. That's our topic today, and it's huge. And so if you've yet to subscribe to our channel, you're going to want to do that because we have lots of topics related to the lack of intimacy and how to rebuild a relationship. Also, if you have a question, put it in the box. We get to you as soon as possible. Now, how does a sexless marriage affect a man? It's deep. He feels so deeply rejected at the very core of who he is. And if you're a woman watching this, you need to know men want intimacy as well. And when you push him away, or when a man is rejected sexually, he feels rejected as a person, that you don't want any of him, that he's just being used for the convenience to help raise the kids, for the money. And this builds huge amount of resentment over years and anger. And this will lead to some kind of medicating or adapting, not because he wants to, but because the pain is so significant in the marriage. Now, I will say this, men, if you're not having spiritual and emotional intimacy with your wife, I would encourage you to either get the book Intimacy, a 100-Day Guide to Lasting Relationships, or Upgrade Your Sex Life, because women want intimacy, not just sex. And if all you're giving them is sex, especially if you're disconnected, you're going to a fantasy world, you're thinking about past people, experiences, or pornography, or if you have a pornography addiction or a masturbation addiction, you may be struggling in setting it up so that she doesn't want to have sex with you, because if all she gets is screwed or laid, that is no positive reinforcement for her. She wants to be able to be seen. She wants to be able to be acknowledged. She wants to be able to be loved during sex, connected to, talked to, and appreciated, taking your time, understanding who she is sexually. And I will say this, that sometimes not having sex is sometimes a miss in understanding how the other person is made sexually. In the book, Upgrade Your Sex Life, I talk about how to understand how she's made. There's 5 different sexual expressions. And when you understand those expressions, you can understand how she wants to be asked for sex, what she wants during sex, and what she even wants after sex. That'd be a great book. Now, if there are medical issues, low testosterone, she's going to need to get that fixed for her to have a sex drive. But if you are acting in an immature way, you're not following through, you're not helping around the house, and you just kind of go to work and think that's all you need to do to be married, you're setting it up not to have sex, because she doesn't feel like you're part of her world. She thinks she's part of your world, and she's there to function, not to relate to. So if those dynamics are going on, your resentment and anger should be towards yourself to get the skills and tools you need to be an incredible lover. Now, if she has issues, undealt rape, undealt abuse, you want to get her counseling and do those kind of things. But the effects of sexlessness on a man, he feels incomplete. He feels, as I said, rejected. He feels unimportant. He feels used. And oftentimes, because a sexless marriage is a dysfunctional marriage, unless it's for totally medical conditions, which we would understand that. But if it's not, it's dysfunctional. And dysfunction creates pain, and pain demands a medicine. So a man might drink, he might overwork, he might medicate with pornography. Again, these are all his choices how he medicates. But if you're medicating, sir, you might need to actually start addressing the issue. And this might take, setting boundaries, getting counseling, or really looking at the dynamics of what she's presenting to you as to why she's not having sex. And if it's not a real solid reason, I want you to look up intimacyanorexia.com. On that website, we talk about intimacy anorexia, which is the active withholding of spiritual, emotional, and sexual intimacy from your spouse. Now, if your wife has 5 of these characteristics, you definitely want to get help. If she's too busy for you, she's not too busy for her friends, her family, her kids, her religious community, her neighbors, but she's too busy for you, if she blames you for all the problems in the relationship or marriage, if she limits or withholds feelings from you, unwilling or unable to talk about her feelings with you, if she withholds love from you, especially the way you like to be loved, if she withholds praise from you, she'll praise others. She might even praise you with others, but she doesn't praise you to yourself. She withholds spiritually from you. She might even be a spiritual leader, but she doesn't connect with you spiritually. She uses anger or silence as a way to control you in the relationship. She has ongoing or ungrounded criticism of you. Sometimes they control around money, but often you feel like a roommate. You feel married and alone. Well, there's lots of material in married and alone. There's lots of material in intimacy and anorexia. There's even a married and alone Facebook group for men, and that can be also very, very helpful. Being in a sexless marriage, there are many reasons for that. We have a great DVD called Sexless and Married, which I would encourage you to watch because it goes through 6 very different dynamics as to why you might be experiencing sexlessness. It won't take away the pain of feeling rejected, hated, alone, unimportant, disgusted, all the feelings you feel and the rage you feel about this. It won't take away that, but it will maybe help you understand why and take action towards solution. Or you're going to have to address the fact that if this is a permanent situation that she's in by her own choice, by her own will, then you're going to have to decide if that's something that you want to maintain the rest of your life, because it will cost you to be neglected. It will cost you health-wise. Men can suffer depression from this, from not being pursued or connected to sexually. Weight gain, which all by itself is significantly health issues. And it's just not fun to be in a marriage where there's no sex. So you just feel so different, unless, of course, it's medical or it's mutually agreed upon. But if it's not mutually agreed upon, you're in pain, sir. And you need to probably talk to someone. Otherwise, you're going to act out in some way. Infidelity is not a solution. Pornography is not a solution. It's just medicating the problem. Confronting the problem is part of the solution, but you want more information, intelligence, and support. So I'd encourage you, call my office. We've been dealing with these kind of issues for over, 40 years about. So 719-278-3708. And you're going to hear a compassionate ear and maybe be able to get some support so that as you get informed, you can start setting the boundaries, start making your needs known in a clear way that are not offensive. See if there are things that are in the way that you're causing. And if there are, you can address those. But this is a time to really address this. If you're watching this, hopefully you're not at the place where you're already too far. You've already kind of decided the marriage is over. That's tragic. If you're there and you're staying in the marriage, you're just going to constantly be rejected, and that's not a solution for her or for you. So please give us a call, 719-278-3708, and take some next steps for you. Whether you stay in the marriage or not, you're going to need to heal. We've done research on betrayal, not just the infidelity betrayal, but betrayal from neglect. And as a man, you being neglected is trauma. And it brings up all kinds of pain for you. So don't minimize your pain. Get some support for it, get some help for it, and also see if there's contributing factors that are in the relationship dynamic that are causing this. But then heal this. You can. I've seen thousands of men and women who are having sexless marriages over about 40 years of counseling people. I've helped so many people get to a place of really enjoying their marriage and their sexuality and getting into a sexual agreement about frequency and what their garden looks like, and to be able to have these conversations. So I want you to feel supported and know that there is help for you, and that you may not have caused any of this. There may be factors, but you may not have caused any of this. So find out what your solutions might be, and I really hope that you take the next step for you, regardless of whether she changes or not.